All right, Rob G, the Super Bowl is over. And anybody watch the game, Kelce looks like a shell of himself.
That
Slow.
ain't no doubt about it.
You can't even fake the funk there.
Nope.
Right? So Rob G, there's stories, there's words out there that maybe that was it for Kelce, right? Travis Kelce.
Right. So you had NFL Network and various other outlets saying even though Travis Kelce said the entire lead up to this Super Bowl that he plans on playing a couple more years, at one point he was saying 3 years more he wants to play.
3 more? Oh, God.
The problem is in the immediate aftermath of the game, Xavier Worthy, they asked him about his feelings about what happened, and he said something to the effect of, the fact that there's going to be several guys here who are not going to be playing anymore, makes it hard to swallow, which people interpreted as he knows Travis Kelce's going to retire.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And that's a big deal for the Chiefs.
And he made a whole ridiculously long post. First of all, just do a podcast. Anybody got time to be reading all that? That was too long, too lengthy.
He thought he was writing for the New York Times.
He did. Did you see that thing? That was
ridiculous.
But my gosh, we get it. I totally get it. It's your brother, you love him. But first of all, no one asked for it. Where did it come from? He just, But with that being said, Travis Kelce, absolutely, it's just that time. Because it wasn't a matter of, okay, they're just not looking for him, right? Maybe because let's say they had better options.
But if you remember earlier in the season, he was non-existent. They could, he couldn't get open,
right? And he popped up for a game or two, one every 4 or 5 games. He'd have a flash of himself, which great players are going to do. I mean, Kobe Bryant's last game, he went out with 60. But if you look maybe 5 games ago, you'd be like, "Ooh, it's time to retire."
Well, he did take 65 shots.
He did.
I'm just saying.
I was there. It was lit though. Yeah, Travis Kelce looked old. He looked easily defendable. Like they could defend him very easily. His moves that he usually doesn't work. And again, maybe because he's been there, that's with the organization. They love him. They have him in some type of, again, I use it as a basketball reference, but Udonis Haslem role of you're on the team, you teach our other guys how to be professional, that thing. But the days of him being productive, being the security blanket for Patrick Mahomes, those are long gone. And Patrick Mahomes is going to have to find somebody. He's going to have to get a new blanket. You know how your little baby loves a little blanket to carry around? He's going to have to get a new blanket.
Yeah, he's the Linus blanket, right? Or no,
yes.
No, right?
Yep. My daughter has one.
Still carrying it around.
Yeah, my 6-year-old, she loves. She doesn't use it during the day.
Right, but she has that blanket.
That night, or if she's going to take a little nap, you better go give her a little white blanket. I'm like, girl, it only comes up to your kneecaps now.
She still got it.
She loves it.
I got bigger fish to fry.
All right, who else we frying? Fried fish sound good. We back in New Orleans?
Yeah, I'm just saying. Along with Travis Kelce, I think this might be.
It was too good to be true.
What? No, I'm serious.
I was with you.
I'm dead serious here. Travis Kelce should take Andy Reid with him, and Andy Reid should step down as head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs. And you're going to be like, they just went to the Super Bowl 3 times, Andy Reid, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So there's a couple things that bother me about where the Kansas City Chiefs are. And just follow me.
Okay, I'm listening.
Because I've been saying this is not a one-game reaction because they lost in the Super Bowl and they got boat raced and it was 40-6. I don't count those last 16 points. It was bad. Where were the adjustments? Where was the game plan? I'm not a football coach. Mm-hmm. Guys who are football coaches and question the game plan. No running game to start at all, and then you get behind, you got to pass. This is what he did in Philadelphia all the time. Pass happy. Always throwing the ball. They got tired of that in Philadelphia. Number 2, this fall off the cliff is 2 years in the making. Last year, they won the Super Bowl, so it kind of covered up how bad things were. You remember with the receivers and the struggles and Patrick Mahomes. Here's another year. Andy Reid is supposed to be an offensive genius. Why is Patrick Mahomes struggling so much when you can't figure out a way to get him off and to get him to be not 50 touchdowns and throwing every ball downfield, but way better? Can you admit that Patrick Mahomes hasn't been the same quarterback the last 2 years? And I'm trying to figure out, Andy Reid is supposed to be that guy, and yet we haven't seen it. Where was the adjustment at all to say, dude, they're coming with 4. We got to do something else. We got to figure out something. Something's open. if they're coming. You know what I mean? Or we got to figure out something, get the ball out quick. Hey, do this, have a max protect. We need to do something and set up something to shake that up a little bit. Have a big play to where they have to feel a little more concerned. It never came.
Yeah.
It never came. So I'm just looking at it. It's been a nice run. But think about it. The last 2 years have been disappointing. Regular seasons. Yes, they went to the Super Bowl. Yes, both those times. And yeah, I'm not talking about the last 2 years. And this year, they got embarrassed.
I'm embarrassed right now with you. I want to fight you right now. Rob, they had a horrible game, and he absolutely didn't adjust. Nor did Patrick Mahomes if he was to be calling audibles and making some adjustments on the fly. He didn't as well. But the idea to retire, he's only 66. He's only 66. Like he's not. He's been 72, 73.
Yeah, but he's been a coach for a long time.
Right, but he's only 66. Bill Belichick was getting busy at 66. You know what I mean? Like I would agree with you with 73, 74, starting to get off a little bit.
But it's
didn't
not
make the
just
playoffs.
it's not just based on the age. I'm saying that maybe this has become a little stale, because the offense isn't where it used to be.
So I'm not disagreeing, but what I'm saying is
it's taking 2 steps back. That's all I'm saying.
I don't disagree with that.
How about somebody else who's got some other ideas?
But so that's why I have a staff. So I start to look for a new offensive coordinator, a new quarterback coach, a new running back coach. I bring in other pieces. There's no way I'm letting Andy Reid go because he is overall, running this thing, steering the ship that has gotten us to 3 Super Bowls in a row, that has our team buying in, that has our team competing, that has our team believing.
But you got to admit that there's been a lot of luck for the Chiefs the last couple of years. But also, it ain't the same team. That's what bothers me.
So hear me out.
He's supposed to be an offensive genius, right? That's all they say.
This is what happens with dynasties. So in the beginning of the Patriots, it was defense, special teams, Tom, don't hurt us, just, take care of the ball, we're good. Then they became explosive, right? Because all of a sudden, they were one of the better offensive teams. They got Randy Moss, they got Wes Welker, they got all the tight ends, Aaron Hernandez and Gronk and all that. And then it became an explosive one. So this happens. You look at the Spurs during their run. They would slow it down, win games 82-75. Then they became threes. Oh, who would have thought the Spurs would be lead in threes and moving the ball European style? So my point is, yes, this has been the let's lean on our defense era of the Chiefs. Let's rely on our defense, play sound offense.
You have an all-time great quarterback, I
agree. The offense ain't offensing like you would hope. That ain't no doubt.
Okay, all right.
But we can tweak that.
But that's where I'm at. And either Andy has to figure it out, freshen up his bag of tricks.
He does.
Or I got to move on, and that's why I'm saying. And normally a guy like that isn't going to do that, And I just got a problem with this. Is not the reason that people weren't behind this 3-peat. And this is I said this to you before they lost. Mm-hmm. It didn't feel like that. It didn't feel great. It didn't feel like, wow, I'm watching something I never saw before. It didn't feel like that. It felt stale. It felt boring.
I agree that had they been the first iteration of them, then it would be lit.
It would
because
be.
Because
right?
Man, I don't know what I'm about to see.
That's
Travis
what I'm
Kelce about to get $160, and Patrick Mahomes going to be throwing alley-oops. I agree with that. But I also think these are just iterations of teams. This is how it happens. Teams have to change. We went defensive, we went offensive. We went run heavy, we went pass heavy.
I need Patrick Mahomes to be better than I've seen the last 2 years.
And that's a fair point. And I think they have to go to the drawing board.
You can't be 15-2 with no
MVP votes. They got to fix this offensive line. They have to bring in weapons. They can't just keep saying, oh, well, Patrick's good enough. We'll be okay.
Those days are over.
You got to go get him some help. He deserves that, to have some high-quality help. But I ain't letting Andy Reid go. He's only 66.